and murderers and stuff like that, they do not like getting rid of the evidence. They hold on to that shit like crazy. How many times y'all heard somebody get like, damn, how the fuck that nigga still got the gun? That gun would have been in the ocean, here, there, you know. How they hold? Because they hold on to their tapes. That's why they do it. So they need it. And law enforcement know this. So what you do in situations like that is you're generally supposed to tell people, hey, let me ship this to you and hide this. Let me hide this at your place. And that's what hopefully Diddy is smart enough to do. I'm not trying to tell him to do it and trying to aid and abet him or give him some advice. I'm just talking to you youngsters. I'm just trying to educate people. My whole goal in here is to educate people to be smart.
It's been a long time, hasn't it? It's been a long time coming for this one. A long time coming for this one, baby.
Mogul and they know that. Logo on my flow mat.
Jaguar Wright, I hope you pouring a champagne glass for this one.
Everywhere I go, flex. Valet park
Tiffany Red.
Whole lot of smoke in that
Fonzworth Bentley.
That thing
I gotta give y'all a proper intro. I'm sorry.
When cameras, they was undercovers. Under pressure, made statements turned
We just had to get the news out last night.
Judge you, but the streets will never love you.
Lil Rod, you done did it, baby. Cassie, you done did it.
Once the haters.
Sloan Bella predicted what was going to happen in March. Come on, I know you pouring a glass, baby. Your time coming for Kim Porter. Oh, we got a long list of people to talk about tonight. Biggie Smalls, you spoke from the heavens last night. You spoke from the heavens, life after death anniversary. Rest in peace, Craig Mack, Andre Harrell, Biggie Smalls, Heavy D. I'll be sure where you at. What it do, y'all? Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. I'm your host with the most. Chill motherfucking Murray, live from the Spot Podcast. What it do, y'all? What it do? I'm sorry, I gotta like my shit again. Anyway, we got a lot to get to tonight. The raid was yesterday. We just had to get the news out. And we did sort of an hour pod yesterday, but it was more of, like I said, just to get the news out and celebrate more than anything yesterday. And yes, usually I don't celebrate, excuse me, hitting the mic. Usually we do not celebrate anybody going to jail. We do not celebrate any black man going to jail. This one in particular, a lot of people have been wanting this monster to go to jail for a while. And this, like I said, is a long time coming for a lot of people. A lot of deceased people. A lot of people living, that he has caused some stress and agony. The diddler has been caught. The diddler has finally been caught, y'all. And law enforcement has raided both his LA and Miami homes yesterday. And amongst other things, they have seized all electronics also. They have made an arrest. That's another thing. They done made an arrest. From the Lil Rod court documents, they made an arrest from him. Ain't looking too good. Diddy. Ain't looking too good, brother. It ain't looking too good for you. Look like we going to court, love. As they said, Shorty said in the corner. The man in the corner. Looks like we going to court, love. He said to Gary. Gary was trying to get out of that shit. Gary was like, but I ain't even hit her. She just said I did. She was trying to get out of it like, I just lied. I didn't even mean to say I hit him. I didn't mean to say he hit me. She's like, we can hold you in contempt just for lying. Looks like we going to court, love. But I felt the need to give the proper intro. You already know why I gave the intro I gave. So, without further ado, I guess we gonna get into it. So, main thing we needed to go over. I guess one of the biggest things we needed to go over was what the case is going to be involving. So, as y'all heard with the news broadcast, right? This is going to be more about the sex trafficking than anything. That's what they was looking for, in a sense, right? That's what they said. That they were going to be looking. This is more a sense looking for the evidence of the sex trafficking court documents that have been out. But also keep in mind, like I said before, this is more of a thing where they are also, you have to pay attention to the fact that they are also looking for evidence of other things. Hence, like I said before, the Kim Porter case could potentially be reopened, as well as other cases can be opened. So this was one of those things where it was remember I kept saying in the beginning, there's a huge pinata here, and Cassie poked a hole in that bitch. And once she poked a hole in that bitch, everybody just started saying, hey, there's some candy falling out. Let me see what else is in here. Poke, 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 Lorad, poke, bust. That's what happened when Lil Rod did it. It bust the fuck open. So what I mean by that is now you have, so we went over the court documents with Lil Rod's case. We're gonna go back over that tonight. So as y'all notice, Lucian Grange is now involved in this. Y'all know who Lucian Grange is. That's the CEO of Universal Music Group. And Universal Music Group, if y'all haven't realized, remember recently, Universal Music Group just took all their music off of TikTok, didn't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was just out of the blue because of TikTok. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Now, it wasn't because of TikTok, that was because of this. That's because of this right here. This case that's coming up. Because Lucian Grange is one of the people that got to get called to the stands now. In fact, real quick. Yeah, real quick. Please. So I could like my shit. So, this is the first time when Diddy got caught.
Despite settling the explosive lawsuit filed by his ex-girlfriend Cassie, Sean Diddy Combs seemed far from pleased. As depicted in photos, the album Missing You rapper appeared stressed and solemn, hiding his face in his hands while sitting outside his Miami home on Saturday. Dressed casually in a t-shirt and sweatpants, he was accompanied by his chief of staff, Christina Horam. During the encounter, Horam showed Combs. Despite settling the explosive lawsuit filed by his ex-girlfriend Cassie, Sean Diddy Combs seemed far from pleased. As depicted in photos, the album Missing You rapper appeared stressed and solemn, hiding his face in his hands while sitting outside his Miami home on Saturday. Dressed casually in a t-shirt and sweatpants, he was accompanied by his chief of staff, Christina Horam. During the encounter, Horam showed Combs something on his cell phone, prompting the musician to lie down on an outdoor couch. Combs was also seen taking a lengthy phone call and pacing around his estate. The photos mark the first sighting of the rapper since Cassie filed a bombshell lawsuit alleging years of physical, sexual, and mental abuse. Despite Combs vehemently denying the claims through his attorney Ben Braffman, the lawsuit was...
That looked like a man just trying to set shit up. Now remember, this is 4 months ago. This is about 4 months ago. He is pacing around the Miami residence right now. This is before they raided the Miami residence. So he's basically just pacing around. What I'm gathering right here, the way he's doing this is he's trying to gather shit up. Y'all saw he was just sitting there contemplating with the CEO. Man, I felt let's backtrack it real quick. Y'all saw. This is Christina right here. This is Christina Corum right here. If y'all don't notice.
Cell phone, prompting the musician to be accompanied by his chief of staff, Christina Horam.
That's Christina right there. So this is the CEO, chief of staff that was also named in the Little Rod case. So, like I said before, what I'm gathering here from these photos from 4 months ago, we didn't necessarily go over these, but and I was waiting to actually go over. Remember, I said, let me also say this too, right? Let me bring myself on camera for this shit. Let me say this. God damn it. I am the nigga that broke the damn Sloan Bella prediction. Let me say that here. Okay? I am the nigga that broke the Sloan Bella prediction. Shout out to Storm Monroe. Shout out to everybody else breaking it. Salute to y'all. God bless y'all. Salute to y'all. But let me get one motherfucking thing straight. I'm the nigga that broke the Sloan Bella prediction. Okay? And I said I was going to not say nothing because I wanted the universe to voila. I wanted the universe to deliver. I said it on the pod. I said, look, I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to keep speaking on it. Keep harping on the prediction. So I want it to happen. And look, the gift was presented to us. So, anyway, as we see here, this is a man contemplating on what he's going to do next. He's trying to figure out what's going on and decipher the next moves. Because like I said, this house is about to get raided. The Miami home got raided yesterday with the LA home. So he was trying to get things together here, as we see in this picture. He was barely trying to get everything in line for when he was going to have to make a move. And obviously, as I showed in that meme too. You like that meme? That Tommy Buns meme? I told you I felt just like that. It felt just like when I saw the footage of him, not the footage. When I read that he had landed in LA by 9 o'clock that morning and thought about going home. I was like, he got the tip off. He definitely got a tip that they was about to raid that LA home. Cause you was in LA. That border. That plane was fine. That private jet was in different airports of California. You was moving around California that morning, or I should say, that evening. Prior to you was moving around. That's what the report said. So you obviously knew something was going to happen to you the following day. Or should I say that border? You got the anonymous tip saying, hey, feds is coming to knock on your door. Can't do nothing about Christian. Can't do nothing about Justin. That's another thing. That's another damn thing. So I was a little bit baffled by that. I was a little bit baffled. Because somebody explained to me. And when I said that, somebody explained to me how in the world were those kids still there? Why were the kids still there? This shouldn't happen. This right here shouldn't be. We shouldn't be looking at this. Look at this shit. Look at this shit, y'all. You know, Christian right there on the left, Justin on the right. Now, everybody been asking the same question all day in the timelines. Where is Quincy? I'll tell you where Quincy at. I'll tell you exactly where Quincy at. Some of y'all are like, oh, Quincy probably shooting a movie somewhere. Possibly so. But I'll tell you where Quincy at. Quincy with his daddy. Quincy, that's right. Quincy is where Justin wish he could be at right now. Excuse me. Yeah, where Justin wish he could be at. Christian ain't got no goddamn choice. Unfortunately, Christian ain't got no choice. But Justin wishes he was with Misa right now. Quincy is with his daddy, Al B. Shore. Al B. Shore just woke up out that coma a couple months ago. I want to say about 5 or 6 months ago, maybe. Maybe I'm exaggerating it, but just recently, Al B. Shore had just awakened from his coma. And I'm pretty sure, with all these allegations happening, and that Kim Porter situation and popping up, and everybody saying what they saying, remember, Quincy is the oldest. Justin may be the first. But Quincy is actually the oldest. I do believe. And with him being informed, put it like this, Justin is way more informed than all three of them. Let me say that as well. So it's evident that Quincy is somewhere asking questions. Like, what the fuck have I been in all these years of my life? Like, somebody need to explain to me what exactly is going on with all these Diddy allegations. Why is my supposed stepfather in all these allegations? Daddy, tell me something. Not real daddy. Tell me something. Please explain to me why my brothers are outside in handcuffs. Because I don't know. I do know. But I don't know. And furthermore, Justin is in way more of a cook goose than all three of them boys. Because Justin has the Hollywood studio shooting that happened. That he was specifically named in. Now, I do believe that there was, we're going to read the court documents here in a second. I do believe Christian was at that was at that Hollywood studio shooting as well. But from what we gathered, it was Justin and Diddy that actually did that shooting, allegedly. Excuse me. Didn't mean to hit the microphone right there. Pour me another drink. But yeah. Speaking of Justin, his mama, Misa Hilton, has had some scathing words for Diddy recently. And Misa has been the most quiet out of everybody. As you can see Justin here in the picture. Her oldest of her three. Now, as she said, she should have kept her son with her. I agree with you, Misa. As someone who has gone through, let me just say, not getting into my experiences and storyline, someone that has went through a very similar experience that Justin has gone through. I'll say that. Being not necessarily, I guess you could say, he's been corrupted into a different lifestyle. Not necessarily raised in a different lifestyle, but he has been corrupted into the criminal involvement of his father, unfortunately. And it's very unfortunate for Misa to have to stand by 30 years and watch all of this. So she took it upon herself to have some very scathing words for Diddy. So she took to her Instagram story and she rattled up, which we can't pull up now from her directly from her Instagram, but TMZ actually posted the entire Instagram story in order. So it started with Act Bad. That was the reference to the record, that the very last record, I would say, that Diddy had put out after the release of the Love album that tanked. You notice the Love album had tanked basically. And it tanked due to the lack of promotion that he was able to do. And I'm going to guess he was, of course, not able to do the promotion because he knew the cases were coming. I'm willing to bet that he knew that all these allegations were somehow coming together, and he didn't necessarily know how to combat it with promotion and marketing of the album. So he releases a new record for Miami called Act Bad. And, well, excuse me, for I say, for the, what is their names now? The City Girls. He tried to do a record for the City Girls called Act Bad. Tank, of course. The reference of Act Bad. Okay. I'm not protecting no one anymore, just my son. This was very telling. I'm not protecting no one anymore, just my son. 100. This sounds like Misa is ready to come forth with a lot of information that she's been withholding those 30 years. I'm not with none of that reality TV shit. When is enough enough? Yeah, okay. And all the children. The emphasis on all. So we're talking about Christian, Quincy, Justin, the twins, the adopted child, who we have yet to hear from as well, which I tried to find her TikTok. I did find her TikTok. And she didn't necessarily seem like she had been abducted, but it was kind of alarming. Not even use the words alarming. It was kind of awkward in a sense. We don't necessarily have to pull up that little girl's TikTok, but just yet. We will in a second. But it was kind of awkward in a sense because you don't necessarily see anything with Diddy on her TikTok. You can't really find her Instagram or anything like that. It's literally just her TikTok. And you don't see anything in reference to Diddy except for the twins, saying that we're always going to be sisters. That was very awkward for someone that had adopted you that you don't have any type of reference to your adopted father in there. Anyway, a love will come to Jesus moment. Yes, it is. Because this is definitely one of those things where I'm hoping it brought her closer to her son. More than anything, I'm sincerely hoping that Justin just, folds and just says, you know what, I need my mom more than anything right now. Because my dad, basically, the foul person that he is, he basically didn't even show up to that raid and allowed you to be in handcuffs, Justin. Just remember that when you're talking to your mom, that your dad allowed you to be in handcuffs while he was in Antigua in Miami trying to figure out what to do. Act bad, bad boy. I used to want to be a bad girl, chose to be a queen, tried and true. Again, more statement of her saying that she was down with a lot of the things that happened. How you know she was down with a lot of the things that happened? As seen here, Diddy's baby mother, she had posted a photo of Suge Knight playing with Justin. The photo was taken during the East Coast-West Coast rivalry. So in the midst of the East Coast rivalry, the back and forth between Diddy and Suge and Biggie and Pac, we see this wholesome moment right here of Suge Knight and Misa, obviously dating at the time, with Justin. Once again, evidence of Misa has had a lot of things on her chest that she has been wanting to get off. I'm not perfect, but I am intentional. I'm not perfect, but I am intentional. Sounds like someone that has, and not to keep reiterating or repeating the same thing, but when I see the word intentional, I think of blueprint. I think of someone that has information, direct information that can be sourceful to certain things when I see the word intentional. Meaning she basically kept herself out of the limelight for good reason, knowing that a lot of these things were going on. She kept herself away from her son even because of the things that she knew that her son was involved in. So that's what I get with the word intentional. The statement, "a fish rots from the head down," means that in addition to being a major contributing factor in a family or organization's success, leadership is also the root cause of its failure and demise. Once again, scathing words to Diddy. The truth shall set you free. Notice she put that in red. The truth shall set you free. She wasn't just saying that the truth shall set you free for herself. She's trying to say it to Diddy, as in, Diddy, you need to come forth. You need to speak. You need to say, you need to tell the truth from now on. You need to tell the truth. As well as not Diddy, but the kids. The kids. You need to all tell the truth. You need to all tell the truth. Everyone needs to tell the truth here. That's why it's written in red here. She's trying to say everyone needs to just tell the truth now. I should have kept my child with me. Fuck UCLA too. Everybody can get it. 100. Now, when you're saying fuck UCLA too, I can only think of the fact that she knows that UCLA has some, and not to bring the colleges into play, but you saw on the documentary, we brought to light Yale University having Skull and Bones involvement. So, like I said, not to bring the colleges involvement into things, but I mean, it's no secret with everything else being out there. It's no secret that colleges also have very dark secrets with them as well. And it sounds like Misa has some information as far as UCLA involvement in crooked activity with her son. I'll say that. How you go from one of the greatest to ever do it to making all of your money off alcohol and suing the damn alcohol company. Of course, referencing the Diego lawsuit, in which, if you notice, a lot of this also happened from him suing Diego. The powers that be started to say, okay, we're not going to protect you anymore. We're going to let all the shit that you've been doing happen to you. All the shit that you've been doing is going to come out to the light, and we're not going to help you when it comes down to it. Sell something healthy that builds people up. Of course, Diddy will not do that. That's, a lot of the. I remember back in the day, Nas, of all people, who has, of course, contradicted his words, said that he would never sell liquor, or he would never sell anything that would be detrimental to the community or, harmful to the black community. He said that himself. He said he would never sell liquor. Of course, Nas has his own, I believe, champagne or alcohol beverage nowadays, of course. But they all have their own harmful products to the black community. Every last one of the higher up artists you can think of have sold some type of alcohol. Every last one has an alcoholic beverage. Of course, if I would have been signed, I probably would have had an alcoholic beverage too, as I like to drink liquor. So, of course, that's what their alibi is going to be, but we all know what the actual agenda behind that is. I'm sick of it. Not mine's. So, once again, this is a mother speaking here with not mine's. She is definitely speaking from a mom standpoint, and this is that's one of those things where, like I said, she wants Justin to come forth and speak the truth with her, not just by herself. Everyone has to sit around for years and act like there isn't anything wrong with you. Talking to Diddy here. This where the buck stops from me. Like I said, this is more that's more telling that Beast is ready to take that stand. If anything ever happened to my son, God forbid, what is anyone going to say to me when we all know whose fault it would be? So those three statements right there. So remember what I said before, right? Remember what I said before about it was very telling to me that Justin and Christian were left behind. Quincy is with his father, obviously. Diddy was nowhere to be found during this raid. If I'm a father, right? If I'm their father, wouldn't I be at this raid in cuffs with them just to be a father and assure them that everything is going to be okay? But we know Diddy. We know the scumbag that Diddy is. Let's just call it a spade, right? So for Diddy to not even show up to the raid knowing that it was going to happen and leaving his kids hanging the way they are, I can only guess what Misa is referring to with if anything ever happened to my son, God forbid. I'm willing to bet Diddy is going to have something happen to Justin to where Justin doesn't say anything. That is what Misa is referring to. She's hoping nothing happens to Justin randomly, the way that things have randomly happened to Kim Porter, randomly happened to Heavy D, randomly happened to Craig Mack. The list goes on and on. She would like for nothing to randomly happen to her son, because then she says the words, when we all know whose fault it would be. And Christina, talking about this sounds like this is Christina Coram, the chief of staff here. And Christina, if you ever try to handle me again, I will go straight across your head. So I wonder what that was about. Sounds like Christina and Misa have had some type of altercation that not a lot of people are privy to. Stay out of the way. You are a nice person. Again, talking to Christina. Everyone is tough until it's time to be tough. I do realize clarity and context are important. You want to do reality TV? Okay, let's be real. And let's lay it all out, starting from the top. Again, and if Misa was the one to, if Misa has information that can potentially help this case, oh, it's gonna be some smoke in the city. It's gonna be some smoke in the city. So it's kind of it's awkward, that, like I said, you would leave your kids hanging out to dry like that. And Misa is basically saying that she thinks that something could possibly happen to her son based on the fact that he would even do that. And I'm not one to put it past Diddy. Like I said, I hope Justin comes forth and comes while he's in custody. I do hope that he just says, you know what, fuck it at this point. because most will happen to him. He's young. He's very young. Most that will happen to him if he cooperates will be maybe 5 years to 10 years. With all the shit that he's involved in. Because let's not forget about the catalog shit. Let's not forget about that. We can never forget about the catalog shit. Remember, his name in the case, it was Justin Combs Publishing. Okay? We went over the whole list. Justin Combs Publishing has more songs in it than R. Kelly. Okay? Justin Combs had 500 plus with more records being entered into his catalog. The kid ain't never stepped foot in a booth, but owns everybody's publishing. That's a whole nother case in itself. And like I said, when you get Lucian Grange involved in things, there's a lot of different avenues that are now about to be opened up. A lot of doors are being opened up with a lot of light in them. And when this case happens and goes to trial, all those lights are going to be shed into that courtroom. His publishing is one of those lights of the doors that's going to be shining into that courtroom. Because it's going to be one of those things they're going to look at and say, hey, why do you own all this? Why did your dad put all this in your name? Matter of fact, Janice Combs, you come to the stand. Talking about the mama. Why all this shit is in your name? Why is the houses, the label, all this, why is all this shit in your name? Those are questions that's going to be asked. And I hope they got the right answers. Oh, I hope they got the right answers for that shit.
I guess you wonder what's going to happen next, Diddy. I know. I guess you wonder what's going to happen next, Diddy. I know.
Don't he look just as scared as can be? This don't look like Brother Love having a lot of fun, do it? This ain't the same Brother Love we saw in St. Bart's collecting them phones, is it? This ain't the same Brother Love that was all excited about taking Little Raw's publishing and, you know, not paying him, is it? This ain't the same Brother Love looking for sex workers right now, huh? Because he ain't got nobody to look for him with him, huh? See, they say we come into this world alone and we die alone. I don't see Young Miami here. I don't see nobody here. I don't see Christina Coram. You off that private jet by yourself, aren't you, brother? They was talking about some you waiting for their staff to show up. The staff ain't showing up, did he? The staff is under questioning right now. Where is Diddy San Diego? That's what the world is asking right now. Where's Diddy San Diego? They found you in Antigua. They located and searched the data at a private jet just to track you down and find where you at, sir. It's time to come on home. I'm gonna come on home and come clean, ain't it? Because they got your mule. That's right. They found your drug mule, didn't they? They found your drug mule. So, came in earlier today that they found, or should I say, arrested ex-Syracuse basketball player Brendan Paul. This comes from the New York Post. Alleged to be Sean Diddy Combs' drug mule. It says here, Brendan Paul, the man who was arrested by federal agents this week and has been accused of being Sean Diddy Combs' drug mule, is a former basketball player at Syracuse. It says here, Paul, 25, was arrested by federal agents at Miami Opa-locka Executive Airport on Monday as he was seeking to board a private jet with the rapper. Let's fool here. Him here. Says feds working with Homeland Security and Border Patrol allegedly found drugs suspected to be cocaine and marijuana edibles in Paul's bag. Paul played for Syracuse basketball team as a walk-on for 2 seasons before transferring to Division II Fairmont State in 2020. If I'm a betting man here. It sounds more like a cover-up, don't you? Sounds like somebody was just being academically okay with playing a little bit basketball, and just say you play basketball for a little bit. You ain't involved in nothing. You play ball. I mean, you could distribute out on the team, making some extra money there. Supply the team, supply the college. You know what I'm saying? Making some extra money there. And just say you want a team. I mean, just say you want a team. We'll get you transferred somewhere else so you can make some money somewhere else. He appeared in a total of, get this shit, 16 games. 16 fucking games. Okay? Y'all understand the college basketball schedule? The college basketball schedule. College basketball. Okay, hold on. Okay, got something real quick. So yeah, something here, right? So a little bit less than half of the NBA season, right? Since many colleges play about 25 to 35 games a season, right? That's all the Division I, including NCAA, right? Man played about 16 games. That was just enough to say that the nigga was on the team. That's what that tell me. Okay? And 17 total minutes. That's what stuck out to me the most. Out of a 35 game season, you played 17 minutes. And recorded 3 points and a rebound. Nigga, you was just there to be a player on the team. You were there to be a fit-in. I know a ringer when I see one. You can't pull this over my eye. They had him there basically to distribute out in the college. Ain't no way in hell he played 17 minutes out of 16 damn games and only basically he took a shot. He came up to bench one game and they said, fuck it, shoot it. That's what that sounded like to me. They told him one night, hey, just shoot it. just try and shoot it. Oh, shoot it within. Look at his mugshot here. Look at this fool here. Let's look at this. Look as confused as he can be, don't he? Like, oh shit. This is the oh shit mugshot right here. Damn it, they got me. They finally got me. Now, this also tells me this mugshot right here. They caught this nigga early in the morning. They caught him early in the morning trying to get on that jet. And that's when Mr. Diddy flew to Antigua. And said, oh no, Brendan, you ain't getting on this plane. They after me. And you got something they could definitely put my ass in cuffs for. Says the suit claimed that Paul acquires and distributes Mr. Combs' guns and drugs. The drugs that Paul was arrested with this week have not been linked to Diddy. Paul was released on a $2,500 bond. We all know who paid that bond. I mean, possibly he paid that bond, of course. It's only $2,500, and you are a drug handler for Diddy. Combs' homes in Miami and LA were raided this week by Homeland Security Investigations Human Trafficking Task Force. So, real quick, where's it at? So I pulled it up. So I did pull it up. Let's go on down to Mr. Paul here, shall we? Let's go to all the references that Mr. Paul is in. Let's go on down the line here. I just want to see what Mr. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So, let's read from 158, shall we? It was important to defendant Coram, to Christina Coram, to have Mr. Combs' drug of choice immediately ready when he asked for it. So Christina was in charge of getting those drugs ready when Diddy was ready to get high. When he was ready to have his freak-off sessions, Christina was the one to supply everything and make sure everything was great. Or should I say, call up Mr. Brendan and make sure everything was okay. Defendant Coram ordered sex workers and prostitutes for Mr. Combs. Defendant Coram ordered and distributed ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, the ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms to Mr. Combs and his celebrity guests who were present on his rented yacht and his homes in LA, New York City, and Miami. Now notice, the LA homes and Miami homes were raided. They haven't come for the New York homes yet. I wonder why. Well, now I say not wonder why. I'm willing to bet they saving that New York City home, that penthouse for last. You know why? Because they haven't implemented the other assault case yet that involved Aaron Hall, which kind of adds to my list of witnesses that's going to be brought there. Right? It's Mr. Brendan Paul and Mr. Combs right there. Looks like Rodney caught them in living color. So, it appears to me, like I said, that, or should I say, like Rodney said, that he has a lot of tapes, and a lot of pictures, and a lot of information on a lot of different people For Brendan Paul to be arrested, the drug mule, that could only tell me Christina is next to be arrested and questioned. When I'm reading these two excerpts here, it says here Frankie Stella. Muy bien hires sex workers, attends, and participates in freak-offs. So, another person that's going to be questioned, obviously, is this Frankie Stella. Because Rod says that he works a lot alongside Brendan. Brendan acquires and distributes the drugs for Diddy and the guns. Frankie carries the money and pays for everything. Interesting. So, as we said, we know Christine is going to be questioned, right? What about Mr. Frankie Stella? So, I'm looking for Frankie Stella's Instagram, and what do you know? Similar to Miss Christina's, it's nowhere to be found. Isn't that odd? Christina's Instagram, as well as this Frankie Stella, is nowhere to be found. But I wonder now, because someone else that was named in the case, Ethiopia, Habtimuriam, her Instagram is still up and running. Now, what was interesting about her being implemented in the case was that there was nothing in the documents that said she did anything incriminating. So it made me wonder, what exactly is her involvement? As we see here, pictures of Chicago BJ the Chicago Kid and Little Yachty. Looks like she's family members of them. But this picture also stood out to me on her Instagram. Remember when we broke down this picture specifically on the pod? We don't need to go back over it, but I found it quite interesting that this particular cover was on her Instagram. Considering this is one of the heads of Motown Records that stepped down in 2022. She stepped down from Motown, ironically, the same month that Takeoff died. I found that very odd as well. She stepped down in November of 2022, the very month that Takeoff passed away. November 29th. Isn't that odd? 28 days later, tell me if that isn't the universe speaking to someone as I go grab my joint papers. November 1st, Takeoff dies. November 29th, they make a report she steps down from Motown Records. Let us all not forget, Diddy joined Motown Records, I want to say a couple of months prior to. We reported on that as well when we covered Takeoff. Diddy joined months before. In the very week that he joined, we got Uncle and Few in the hotel video. Following that, well, we all know what happened to Takeoff after that, right? So, interesting numerology there. Very interesting numerology that a post on November 29th, again 28 days later, someone implemented in the Little Rod case steps down from Motown Records. So, as goody two-shoes as this Instagram so seems, we are going to see exactly what Miss Ethiopia's involvement in is within a lot of the things that Mr. Diddy has done. Because it's very interesting to me that happened. And nothing is coincidence. As we have all seen, absolutely nothing is coincidence here. So, let's, for a second, think about the involvement of everyone, right? Let's think about the quick breakdown of everyone that's going to be in this case. Let's run down a short list of the possible witnesses. We have, at the top of the list, of course, we have Cassie. But we also have someone that has been very quiet during this whole time. That is also named in the court documents, Usher. Usher's name was redacted. One person that has been trying to clear his name but not doing a very good job of it, Meek Mill. Okay. We have who we saw in the St. Bart's footage. Of course, Little Rod and French Montana. Also in that St. Bart's footage that was implemented in the court case, in the court documents, I should say, were the kids. Seeing Justin, Christian, the twins, and Quincy was in the back of the van. They're definitely going to be brought to questioning. Chris Brown is going to be brought to questioning. His name was redacted into the court documents. Cuba Gooding Jr. His name was in the court documents. Aaron Hall, who was a part of one of the other sexual assault cases. And we broke down nasty ass Aaron Hall. Oh my goodness, that record. Now I lay me. Oh my gosh. Man said a prayer before he was about to rape the woman. We have Roger Bonds, the security guard from the Cassie documents. We also have pretty much broke down that Misa is going to be testifying. Who else we have here? Oh, of course, the sex workers and the party witnesses. But among those party witnesses, TD Jakes is going to be called to the stand. TD Jakes is definitely going to be called to the stand. Of course, Brendan Paul is already in custody, so I'm only assuming that this Frankie Stella is going to be added to the list. But this is a very long list so far of witnesses that have just been named. This is just the people that have just been named. Okay? You have Stevie J. Stevie J is also in these court documents. As we remember before, Stevie J was one of the people that Little Rod had said that, Diddy had showed a sex tape to him. Saying that Diddy had showed a sex tape of Stevie J. And people were saying that there was just a lookalike of Stevie J. Even the lookalike even came out and said, "Hey, that wasn't him, that was me." Remember that? So Stevie J is going to be brought to the stand. We know, of course, the kids, Justin, Christian. But like I said, with Quincy, you have Al B. Shore. Al B. Shore is one of the last. If we're talking about Motown Records, and Ethiopia is going to be brought to the stand. Ethiopia is going to be brought to the stand. Christina is going to be brought to the stand. But if Motown Records is being brought up, Al B. Shore has to come up to the stand. Al B. Shore has seen things. He's going to testify. He's going to be a star witness. Lucian Grange, we know, but I'm willing to bet now hopefully, this doesn't involve his son, Lucian Grange Jr., who has his own thing going with Nostalgia. I think, is it Nostalgia? The record label that owns Tekashi 6ix9ine and Ice Spice. Hopefully he doesn't get called to the stand because this would affect Ice Spice's business. We have, of course, Love Record staff. The gentleman we saw in the video that was talking shit about Lil Rod and reading that article. We have Chalice Studio staff, Combs Global staff. But another interesting name is Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx had the footage. Remember, Jamie said he had the tapes. Jamie Foxx said he had evidence and footage.
You had a fight before, right, with some Rolling Sisters, right? Tell me about that, yo. You beat up like 6 or 7 of them?
Oh, that was back in the day when I was, it was my girl at the time was going to Crenshaw. And I'm gonna tell you the story. So she come to me and she's crying.
About Jamie Foxx, real quick.
She come to me crying. I'm like, what now? You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, what? She was like, he hit me. He slapped me. I said, who slapped you? She said, him. I think it was the Chico from 60s or something, like, which was, we cool to this day. Like, it was just a total misunderstanding. You know, back in the day, girls got slapped. It wasn't as big as it is now. Back in whatever those times or whatever. And she was like, he slapped me. So then I just went to the situation. It was like, like 7 or 8 of them, and I just start handling my business in the middle of the street on 11th Ave at Crenshaw. I'm handling my business. And so I'm handling my business. I'm so incredible when I'm handling my business that I just get too cocky, right? And then for some reason I just got hit from a bing, and I'm saying to myself, like, it woke me up. It was like, okay, why the fuck am I even here? Like, it was cool until I got that hit. I'm like, bang, he hit me. I'm like, and I just seen everybody looking like, am I gonna go down or not? And I'm just like, he hit me so hard, bro. I was like, I was just like, gee, I don't ever want to be in this situation again. So, but I shook it off. I kept going, and I finished. I felt like I finished on top, and it was people that was there. That was like my boy Tylo. He from 60s now. He's Tylo. he a rapper. He also a rapper. So he was one of the people. He was one of the people there. He wasn't from '60s then, but he's from '60s now, and he always talks about that story. It was a crazy story. I think I got the knot on my lip. I know a girl's gonna say nigga lips are big anyway, but yeah, I got another knot on my lip because of that a scar from that situation.
And you said it was like 6 or 8 of them.
Yeah.
Damn.
But you gotta understand, I'm in the middle of the street. So you can, it's like, hold on, grab one, give me this, I'm right, you feel me? Just a lot.
Damn. Yeah. Damn, that's crazy as fuck, man. Oh yeah, something else I heard, man. I don't know if it's true or not, but if it is, give me
Listen
the
to this.
backstory, yo. Puffy, yo. What was the situation you had with Puffy, man?
Puff. Oh, that wasn't, man. It was a total that was kind of a misunderstanding, man. It was I think Puff was, I think he almost fell and tripped or whatever on, we at Jamie house. I think he probably tripped or something. And my brother, kind of laughed, and I guess it wasn't funny to Puff, you know what I mean? It was, so Puff kind of like put, hey, come here, like, hey, what's funny or whatever. And I see it from my peripheral, and I'm like, Puffy don't know my brother. This is weird. This don't look cool. So I'm like, I push my brother out the way. I'm gonna move my brother. Like, hold on. I asked Puff, are you know him? And Puff was like, nah, Playboy, it ain't. I said, that's my brother, nigga. I touch everything in here for my brother. Period, point blank. I'm touching everything in here for my brother. And so then me and Puff, we end up having a conversation, and we, as men, we shook hands, and everything was great. But for a split second, I didn't see Puffy. I seen Sean. I didn't see Puffy. You mess with my brother, like that's my, I ain't know. It ain't like that. Like it ain't. But we talked and it was cool as men. So there go another instance where we had a conversation, whether no gun, none of that stuff, was just had a conversation, could have went somewhere, didn't go nowhere, and we shook hands.
Did you notice how he downplayed the entire situation when it came to Diddy? Now, the reason why I played that clip is because there was a rumor going around that Tyron had actually been in a gay relationship with Jamie Foxx.
Suge Knight, a few months ago, he posted a video of you on his verified Twitter, and he had a wild caption with it, man. He said that she was Jamie Foxx's ex. How you feel about him saying that, man?
Yeah, come on, man. Like, first of all, I don't know. I don't think me and Suge have. I thought we squashed it, whatever that was. So I'm thinking that's what it is. So, and then I heard earlier, that his thing was hacked or whatever. His Twitter was hacked. So I give it. If Suge wanted to talk to me, he know how to contact me. He contacted me the last time we had an issue, an altercation. So he figured out how to get to me. So I'm sure he would. I'm sure there's some kind of jail phone in there that kind of could reach to me. But yeah, he said something like that. So me and Jamie have been like, brothers and best friends for like years. So what people don't understand is that we do a lot of business together. So you may have seen us a lot around. We probably at the house coming up with ideas and stuff like that. Actually, we got a television show called Alert. You know what I mean? That we created. You know what I mean? That actually will be airing March 5th on Tuesday. So you know how it go when you dealing with people want to throw the gay rumor. It's always somebody always got to be gay in the world. Like, but hey, I know what I you know what I'm saying? I know what I like. So you feel me?
Notice how he didn't necessarily deny the relationship with Jamie Foxx. So you have to also put 2 and 2 together when you're thinking about the story he just told at Jamie Foxx's house. He just told a story about him having a fight at Jamie Foxx's house and then having a situation, an altercation that also happened where Diddy was there. Now, we all know about the accusations about Jamie Foxx and Diddy, But who would have thought that Tyron Turner was in the midst of all of that and actually being one of the boyfriends or boy toys of Jamie Foxx? Now, listen to Jamie Foxx as he talks about the tapes that he supposedly had for Diddy.
There has been negative propaganda put out about me that's not true.
At that time, Puff was the biggest guy in the world. You know, you couldn't even get in this party. So the way I would get in this party is I show up with a camera.
Puff, yo, you gotta let me film this, the whole thing. We need to document this, Playboy.
Puff is there, and it's all about him. And I'll never forget, he got mad at me.
So Jamie Foxx suffered a very serious medical emergency that landed him in the hospital.
Yo, Fox and I came. What? Puff sitting there. So it's kind of, I'm like, damn, this shit is crazy, man, huh? So what I did was, I would show up to the party in my little town car. This town, you know, I grabbed me a town car so I could skirt. Puff the SUVs and the Bentleys, the whole night. He get out, I get out too with a camera, the big Canon. Like, yo, Puff, I should document this shit, right? Yo, what's up, Playboy? What you talking about? I said, no, I should get this, man. You, Fonzworth, the whole nine. He says, yeah, let him through. Excuse me. So I get the, but at that time, it wasn't like the little camera y'all got. It was the big intrusive Canon. I had a battery pack. Hold on, man. Let me change the pack. Put my light on here. Do that again, Puff. Do that again. I missed that one. Do that again. Put the pack. So I started following him. Wow. So I followed him the whole time. I remember watching Puff at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I'm filming this. And it's a pool party that is ridiculous, man. And I look up and I see Dr. Ruth. I don't know if you know who that is. The sex lady. The sex lady. I see Dr. Ruth. I said, Miss Ruth, could you please come over here? This guy by the name of Sean P. Diddy Combs. I need you to come meet him. I need this for my camera. Dr. Ruth and Puff at the Beverly Hills Hotel pool dancing, doing their thing, right? And you know what they dancing to? Over in the corner, God bless, is Heavy D, Andre Harrell, and they listening to a demo. You know what the demo is? Right. Bum, 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 bum.
Beyonce.
Oh, that's crazy. Wow. And then Andre Harrell, run that back. That's the one right there. That's going to be the one. You just missed that, the ordering of the champagne, the whole nine. Country, get this. You call me country, I'm going to take country, get this. So I'm filming it. That's the one. That's the record right there. Run it back. So Dr. Ruth, Puff dancing, right? All of a sudden I get this, and then I flip the camera this way, there's Demi Moore and some young dude. I don't know who the dude is. So I said, Puff, who that? Oh, that's the young cat. Ashton Kutcher. I said, cool. So I asked Demi Moore, I said, is it cool if I? She said, sure, whatever. It was probably a wild night. She said, sure. So I watched when they first, got together. So what happened was, I'm following Puff, and his parties were like amazing. We were in Philly one day.
Real quick tidbit on that. Demi Moore, when she married Ashton Kutcher, was 40 years old. At the time, Ashton Kutcher was 25 years old. So I want you all to think about just how young Ashton Kutcher was when Demi Moore was actually dating him when Jamie Foxx just presented that.
I fly to Philly, town car, same business. Go up, but Puff say this party, Playboy, this party right here, I see $1.5 million. I said, nigga, what? You spent $1.5 million on this party? I said, you come to my house, I'll throw you a party for $400, and it will rival this, not in scale, but the people there, because that's how I started. I was the first social media dude. When I would do stand-up, I had cue cards. This is 91. I had cue cards, and I would have people sign and put their pager numbers on it. And I would call during the week. Yo, I'm gonna be here. So I had 800 signatures, 600 women, 200 guys. So it became a floating party. So when Puff came to LA, he said, yo, Playboy, Saturday morning, make that shit happen. I said, I'm on it. Went into my phones, called 200, because I didn't have a big house, 200 of my best friends, girls that were beautiful but not tight but not slutty, just in the daytime. It's daytime. So this is my daytime crew, right? He get there, he goes, that's the girl on this movie and that's the girl on that. I said, yeah, we all hang out. We ain't got no money, but we all hang out together. I said, look on the table, Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I put on some nice plates and some cola and a picture of the whole nine. And it was great. He had a great time. And that was that same party that Pharrell was at. But what I started doing in order to get artists together. I said, Puff, you don't understand. When we watch you from New York, you're bigger than life to us. I said, so the $1.5 million, yeah, you can do that, but it don't matter. Because a New York fitted baseball cap is how much retail?
Like $25.
$25, right?
Yeah.
I said, Puff, but on your head, it's priceless, man. And I said, now watch this. And I played pong, pong, ping, pong, 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 pong. And LA niggas was mad. They was like, hey, look here, cuz, hey, fuck that shit, dog. Fuck that shit, dog. That motherfucker. I said, look, you got these LA niggas gone. And it was moments like that. It was like, and then I had a studio in the back. So every time somebody would come over, I would ask them to drop music there. Puff, Snoop, because I wanted to get in the music business. But we also started doing this thing called New Music Hour. So any person that came to the house that had a song or could do stand-up with it, you could perform. No one was allowed to boo or nothing like this. Watch who benefited from it. Nick Cannon used to sleep on my couch. Wow. 13 years old. He'd be in one part of the house. He'd be like, can I, nigga, go back in there. You can't, fuck back in there. You can't come in here. And he'd be like this, right? He slept on the couch. Ed Sheeran.
Begs the question right there. Again, more Holly weird shit. What in the hell is Nick Cannon doing there at 13 years old, sleeping on your grown-ass man couch?
It was the latest. Ed Sheeran slept. Wow. Ed Sheeran, my new house, Ed Sheeran slept on my studio floor for 6 weeks.
Amen.
Working on this shit. 6 weeks. So what we do, like I said, what's great about what we do is that we have, I had Anthony Hamilton. I remember Anthony Hamilton had he said, man, nobody want to hear me sing. I'll go watch it. I would go follow him and watch him sing in places. I'd be the only one in there. It was like he had to sing at this one little open mic thing, and he was singing. I'm like, sing, Anthony! Let the Lord use you, Anthony. Sing, son, sing. I mean, it's great. So the last one we had, I'm gonna tell you the ones that we had. It was amazing, and then I'm gonna go. When Drake hit, I'm in the Bahamas, baby. I'm in the Bahamas. My sister hit me. My sister, she here, dark skin and always in touch. Nigga, you need to get this Drake. I said, nigga, I hit the internet. I said, oh, nigga, I'm in my robe. I grabbed some wine. I said, I forgot to call you on your birthday. Said I said, I gotta find that dude. So Brian finds him. We actually do a song together. But I was watching him, and I took him on when the redheaded guy took over for Jay Leno. Conan. I took him on Conan. I said, Conan, you don't know who this dude is. I said, his name is Drake, and 2 girls in on it. I said, y'all up on it. He about to be the big dude. So when Drake rolled out his thing, his first album, I said, Drake, I'm gonna do a thing for you. My house is called New Music Hour, and I call this On My Balcony. I want you to come get on my balcony. So what do you mean? I said, don't worry about it. You'll see. I said, the SUVs will pick you up, bring you to my house. Now I got a bigger house. It's like 40 acres. Women showed up to the party at 3 in the afternoon. Bus pulled up. 30 girls get out. Bus pull up. 40 girls get out. Crazy. I said, well, ladies, he's not going to be here till like 11 because BET time. So we won't be here till 11. We'll wait. It was BET because it was BET Awards.
Oh, okay. We thought you were going to.
No. It was the BET Awards that weekend. So I said, listen, he ain't gonna be here till 11. So we still setting up, right? By the time he got there, 2,500 people counted in my backyard. When he drove up the driveway, we had a drive-in movie theater poster of him and this artwork. The smooth one with the cut, you know, the peacoat, the smooth, the motherfucker with the shit right. You know what I'm saying? No smiles. It's just the motherfucking right. He drive up with all his boys, and it's funny when before you get your money, everything is too big. Like his Letterman jacket was. He was like, oh man, I said, yeah, man. I said, yeah, man. Oh man, dog. I said,
look at the body.
Oh man. So we get up. I said, hey, Drake. There's a few people in the back want to say hi to you. We walk around. 2,500 people. We go up on my balcony. I said, Drake, now I've done this. Puff was the first major one. Now it's you. We want to give you your artist we want to, because you're going to get enough hate. There's going to be enough niggas out there that hate but the fact of what you're doing right now. And so we do the interview, and I hand him the mic, and there's all these people down there. And I said, could you just say something to the people? He said, oh man, what'd I say? I said, nigga, sing something. He leaned over the balcony. I'm more than just an option. The party shot through the roof. We do that till about 4 in the morning.
Right.
Most people leave. We got 200 people left, 200 or 300 people left. I got a pianist to come around 3 in the morning, played all the music unplugged, rapped his music unplugged, new music hour at that time. We sat and we listened to other rappers rap and other people try to get their thing on. They go to like 6 in the morning, wrap it up. Then we moved on to Rick Ross. Did one same situation. Not as many people, but the women.
Oh yeah.
And Puff knew about it. Puff got there early. Yeah. and left Rick in L.A. because I live outside there. I said, Rick, you better get here. Puff got he's about to leave with everybody. And they got 300 bottles of Ciroc. It's crazy. And when he showed up, I told the DJ, because I had a DJ in the back, I said, listen, when Rick show up, just start playing. These niggas wanna hold me back. These niggas, but don't drop the beat until we walk all the way through the house. When he walked through the house, it's like he had a piccolo. And people was just like this. And then when he finally got into the studio, Puff was standing on top of the things with the Ciroc. These niggas, boom, nigga, crazy. And then we did 2 Chainz and who else was last?
Ooh, I got the bell ringing. I got them bell ringing. Ooh, I got the bells ringing. I got the bell ringing. Money.
Okay, so as we heard, Jamie Foxx has quite a lot of old footage as well as Lil Rod does. So I can only imagine what type of tapes that Jamie Foxx has that could be incriminating to Diddy as well. What was pretty funny to me, another witness that's going to be called to the stand is Young Miami, right? And I guess we got to give a hand to Young Miami because she is the best at being the most oblivious to things, right? She tweeted yesterday about 4:25, around the same exact time that the entire world was posting that Diddy's houses were being raided. This is finna be a fun summer! Exclamation point, amongst a bunch of tweets that show that she didn't really care about what was going on. And as you can see in the comments, sister, look outside. I don't know if you watch the news, but you in danger. Another meme with you this summer. Day 3 off of the grid. I can only imagine who that is there. But let's look further more into Young Miami's Twitter. For the past few, right? Doesn't look like someone that's pretty much worried about, their man's house being raided. Like nothing here, of course, similar to Diddy, says that she is even thinking about what's going on. Another person that stands out to me on the witness list that could possibly have some information is Kimora Lee.
But when you think about Kim, I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, Al B. Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant.
I said, don't watch TV. Are they mean to each other? Are they rude to each other? Because the clips I've seen or the things I've heard, they're kind of fighting.
Hold on to your hats, folks, because the tale of Kim Porter's untimely demise continues to reverberate through the depths of our minds. Brace yourselves for some gripping gossip, because in the current era of scandalous secrets, word has it that insiders from Kim Porter's close-knit circle are itching to crack open the case once again.
Now, if you don't remember, Kimora Lee had she brought forth some disturbing evidence saying that Puffy had Kim Porter murdered. Now, from the angles of the LA homes that I saw in the raid, it looked to me that they were trying to look for evidence for the Kim Porter murder as well as the sex trafficking. Don't you?
Why, you may ask? Well, it seems they've stumbled upon some serious, suspicious circumstances surrounding her tragic passing, and the inner circle is convinced there's more to the story than meets the eye. Speaking of friends, one name that immediately comes to mind is the sensational Kimora Lee. And let me tell you, she has some intriguing insights to share. So, what exactly did Kimora reveal? And what could be the driving force behind the desperate plea to reopen Kim's case? Get ready for an exciting ride, my friends, as we uncover the hidden layers of this mystery. The truth behind Kim's passing promises to be an enthralling tale filled with surprises and suspense. It's a story you won't want to miss.
I remember the songs. I remember A Teenage Love, to be exact. I remember all these songs that go with the time.
You may think you know everything about Kim and Diddy's tumultuous history, but get ready for a jaw-dropping revelation that will have your jaws hitting the floor. Let's rewind to December 2006, when the world was captivated by the news of Kim and Diddy's twin babies. Oh, the sweet bliss of parenthood, or so it seemed. But hold on to your hats, because here's what you didn't know. While Kim was carrying their precious twins, Diddy found himself tangled in a web of infidelity. Yes, you heard it right. Another woman was carrying his child at the same time, turning their fairy tale into a whirlwind of scandal and chaos. Oh, Diddy, you sly fox. You were a mess from the very start. Now let's fast forward to 2018, a year that would forever alter the lives of those close to Kim. Reports emerged that Kim made repeated calls to her doctor, desperately seeking assistance. However, to her bewilderment, her calls went unanswered. This peculiar turn of events raised eyebrows, especially since her friends and family knew that reaching her personal doctor had never been an issue before. Curious, isn't it? Then, devastating news struck the world like a lightning bolt. It was November 2018 when the unthinkable happened. Kim was found lifeless in her sleep. The shocking revelation shook her loved ones to the core. Kimora Lee, one of her dearest friends, poured her heart out on Instagram saying, "This is unbelievable. When I first heard the news, I was angry that someone would play such a stupid joke," she continued. "They said you were in your room sleeping. Aoki and I rushed to your house to tell you to get up and get yourself outside. But soon as I arrived, I realized you would not come." However, the plot thickens with an unexpected twist. Ed Winter, the coroner, who had previously voiced concerns about Kim's death and called for further investigation, tragically passed away just a few weeks ago. The timing of this unfortunate event raises eyebrows and ignites speculation. To add to the intrigue, a new coroner stepped in to fill Ed's shoes. But here's the mind-boggling part. It took an unusually long time for this second coroner to reach a conclusion. After much deliberation and analysis, they ruled that Kim's cause of death was labor pneumonia. Yet one can't help but ponder the discrepancies. After all, Kim had only exhibited flu-like symptoms mere days before her passing. Suspicious, isn't it? Now here's where things really get interesting. Two of Kim's closest friends decided to reach out to her doctor to find out why he hadn't responded to her calls. The doctor revealed that he had never received any calls from Kim, nor did he have any knowledge of her illness. But wait, it doesn't end there. According to Kim's friends, particularly our beloved Kimora Lee, said that just before Kim's untimely departure, she allegedly sent a cryptic message to her inner circle confessing, "He got me." She also hinted that she might have been poisoned. As unbelievable as it may sound, this is not the first time such sinister acts have occurred in the shadows of Hollywood's glamour. In fact, the truth was unveiled by the brave and outspoken Jaguar Wright.
It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And
yet let us not forget the official narrative. According to reports, Kim's cause of death was attributed to pneumonia. However, her loved ones, fueled by their relentless pursuit of the truth, refused to accept this explanation without further investigation. Something just doesn't add up. While she was said to have peacefully passed away in her sleep, the discovery of bloodstains on her pillow and a trail leading to the bathroom raises eyebrows and fuels speculation. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Why is Kimora convinced that Diddy might be involved in this tangled web of deceit? Well, it goes back to their tumultuous relationship. Diddy was allegedly responsible for physically, mentally, and emotionally harming Kim throughout their time together. Kimora, being a close friend, had a front row seat to this toxic dynamic. And you know what they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. But Kimora isn't the only one pointing fingers. Enter Gene Deal, the ex-bodyguard of none other than Diddy himself. He steps into the spotlight claiming that Diddy once delivered a devastating blow that shattered Kim's nose.
So my whole thing about it is that it was always abuse between those two, physically. But Kim got tired of it and she wasn't taking her.
And Gene Deal isn't the sole voice shedding light on Diddy's treatment of women. Brace yourselves, because another ex-girlfriend of Diddy has stepped forward, ready to spill the beans on their tumultuous relationship. Let me tell you, it's a revelation that doesn't paint Diddy in a favorable light.
He started being so like I say, like the first 3.5 years he was like mean to me.
It's no wonder Kimora was convinced that Diddy played a role in Kim's tragic passing. When news of Kim's death broke, what was the first thing Diddy did? He swiftly confiscated her phone, a highly suspicious move considering the circumstances. A close source to the family spilled the beans, revealing that Kim's loved ones are preparing to take legal action against Diddy for wrongful death. They claim to possess concrete evidence that will support their case. It's about to get real, and the stakes are sky high. But here's where it gets even juicier. Inside sources hint at a secret book, meticulously crafted to document every intricate detail of Kim's life and her tragic demise. The family has been itching to release this bombshell, but Diddy has been using his influence to keep it under wraps. What could be so explosive within those pages that he wants to keep hidden? Turns out, the book unveils a world of frustration for Kim. Imagine living in a house where every nook and cranny is wired, where your phone lines are tapped, and where a personal watchdog is hired to keep you under constant surveillance. Talk about a lack of freedom. It's enough to make anyone's head spin. The book also covers how Diddy wanted full custody of their twins, but Kim wasn't one to back down. She made it crystal clear that if Diddy pushed her, she would expose every shady detail he had hidden away. Think about it, my friends. Andre, Heavy D, and Kim, all with unfinished books before their untimely demises. A trail of unfinished stories, secrets waiting to be unveiled. And nestled within this enigma lies Kimora, perhaps holding the key to a truth so explosive it could shake Hollywood to its very core. But let's not forget the fans, the passionate voices who refuse to be silenced. They eagerly join the chorus declaring, if Kimora suddenly slips into a coma, we'll know the shocking truth behind her silence. Their words echo with an air of suspense, as if they're on the precipice of unraveling a massive conspiracy. One fan bravely steps forward proclaiming, Diddy's closet isn't just filled with skeletons, it's an entire graveyard. The notion of hidden secrets and deleted lives swirls in the air, shrouding Diddy in a cloak of mystery. It's the dark side he desperately tries to shield from the prying eyes of the public. Another fan with a keen eye for the truth proclaims, we don't care about his personal life, but we do care about the lives that he may have erased. That's the part he desperately wants to keep hidden. We want to hear your take on this mesmerizing saga. Do you stand with Kimora?
Yes, we do stand with Kimora. She is one of the main people that, like I said before, I think is going to be on the stand. Furthermore, another person that's going to be on the stand, because if it's anybody that, you know, was a part of things, like I said, it's going to be Cassie. So remember we covered Cassie's court case before. Cassie was one of the main holes in the piñata that broke everything, right? So Cassie, throughout the relationship with Mr. Combs, was prone to uncontrollable rage and frequently beat Miss Ventura savagely, similar to Kim Porter. Okay, so these beatings were witnessed by Mr. Combs' staff and employees of Bad Boy Entertainment and Mr. Combs related businesses, but no one dared to speak up against their frightening, ferocious boss. So one of those staff members that Cassie is speaking of but didn't dare to mention, I wonder why, was Fonzworth Bentley. I wonder why Fonzworth Bentley has been the quietest nigga of all during this entire
Music mogul and rapper
thing.
Sean Diddy Combs has faced 4 different lawsuits in recent weeks.
Before we get into Tiffany, let's look into Fonzworth real quick.
A lot of time I would go up and fix his tie. I could care less about his freaking tie, but I know the cameras is there, and then as soon as I wink at the camera and then walk off, and y'all be like, yo, who was that? What is he doing? So I knew what I was doing.
Feels like the 48 laws of power. Yes, Simona Khan?
So wait, when did Derek become Fonzworth, and whose idea was that?
And again, like, you gotta understand, like, all folks out there with jobs or folks that's hip hop, you get a nickname, all right? It's no big deal. It's not like I was a character. Like, people try to say, like, Fonzworth Bentley character. No, like, my name is Derek Watkins. I started working at a job in hip hop. You get a nickname, just like his name ain't Busta Rhymes.
Who gave you the nickname?
Tony De Niro. Actually, Puff's boy did. And it's kind of funny. I remember, like, we walking through the second day. After that story where we just left off, the next day, get there in the morning. This how. So the next day, I get there to the house at 9:30 in the morning. Walking through the house, showing me the closets, the whole thing, and like I'm trying to like draw diagrams, take notes, because I'm like, first of all, I was the most unorganized person in the world at the time. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get fired in 2 weeks. So let me just learn as much as I can learn.
Right, in these 2 weeks,
right?
Let's cram it in.
That's what I was thinking. So, walking through the house, we're going through the closet. So I purposely dressed down this day because I was always dressed up. So I purposely dressed down so that I could like show Sean John is in this type of collection. Let me show that I'm like versed, I had on like Marc Jacobs, denim jacket and a Ralph Lauren Purple Label raglan sleeve cashmere sweater, a little
casual chic.
A little Marc Jacobs sneaker, first season couture sneaker. Anyway, and I had these shades. I had these Oliver Peoples tropical.
Do you hear how fashionable the guy was, though? That he was able to detail every brand on his body that day that he had, the first day to try to impress Diddy?
Punch frames.
Okay.
Shades, but I had them stuck in my sweater. You know how you just put it.
Take some notes.
So we get to the last.
Did you return these back to the store after you wore them?
Oh, take it back is one of my favorite things. Take it back. That's like my favorite thing.
I'm like, where was you getting all this money
receipts. No, I was making really good money in the restaurant business.
That good though? That's
like $100,000. Yeah,
shit.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that is pretty
For New
good.
York. Yeah.
And back then too.
It's 98. That's a lot of money.
Wow, I'd have stayed.
90, 100. I was doing well. So and
Diddy wasn't paying that much.
Yeah, no way
at all. Not initially, but you get in, you get your hustle, and then you get it in. But anyway, point of mass. So we're walking around, and so we get to the last. So he says, "Okay, Negro, I see your shades. Let me see how you do your shades." So, and now I see this as an opportunity to perform. So, I whip my shades out and whipped them on him. He's like, you like a bootleg Fonzworth type of dude or something. So De Niro's right there. He fell out laughing. And I was like, yo, please don't let that be my nickname. He's like, no, we ain't gonna do you like that. We ain't gonna do you like that. So we then, we end up, I don't know anything, right? You know how hip hop is. It's all about figure it out, right? A bus pulls up, the housekeeper's there, she's packing the bags. So I'm just learning, all the bags are getting packed, all the clothes. We know, putting all of the stuff on the bus. Interns roll up in, and we're getting on the bus to drive 22 hours to Miami, right, where he recorded that album. The saga continues out.
And this is day 2 on the job.
This is day 2 on the job, right? So Puff's in the back. You know how buses are, or if you don't, in the way the bus works, there's a big bed in the back, right, and then there's the bunk.
I know you didn't take the bed in the back.
Hell no.
Oh, okay. Whew.
No, so he's back there. We didn't see him most of the ride. He back there with whatever thing he heading off for 22 hours, right? So it's producers, writers, like folks that I now know is like Loon, like a lot of different writers and producers is Mike. So folks are writing the tracks. It's work going, right? It's work. So his boy kept calling me freaking Fonzworth the whole freaking time now. So after 22 hours...
You are Fonzworth.
I am Fonzworth. No last name yet. So we were moving around and he was doing a lot of dinners. And so the whole, the restaurant industry is where I had just got finished working. So I was very comfortable here. So I walk in, my face name recognition was like genius at this point, right? Because you got all these people coming in, you send them to the bar, you got to know who's who. And, it's, a formal spot. So, we walk in and I knew the manager's name. Yeah, let me get 32 again. And so like, this was my space. So I could really shine here. So then I remember one day, De Niro was like, he was like, he's like, Bentley. I was like, nah, he went the SUV today because we got such and such and such. He's like, nah, that's your last name.
Fonzworth Bentley.
I said, okay, I like the Bentley thing.
Fonzworth, but Bentley,
so
yes.
It is. So it's like I was never a character. People the thing is, hip hop had never seen anything like me, really. So it was like.
Now there's a lot of you around.
Well, but I think there's a gentleman's movement.
There's definitely a
that's
gentleman's
happening.
movement.
Barack's in it.
Some people are very.
And so I was living in Brooklyn, in Bed-Stuy. A big shout Ralph between McDonough and Howard.
I live in Bed-Stuy now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, shout to the hood.
Brooklyn all day.
Yeah, they didn't, they were like, all right, a Southern guy with a suit, you land in the hood.
Yeah, not a lot of gents in Bed-Stuy.
You're the feds. They thought I was the feds.
Well, even better.
Right. So I'm there and
Now, pay attention to that as well. He's in Brooklyn. Remember, the brownstone that was filmed for making of the band 1 and 2, as well as the brownstone that Harlem World was in and that May stayed in, is the same brownstone that Fonzworth Bentley is referring to. That same brownstone Cam found a dildo in the bathroom.
When I was working, you fold down the store, at 7 o'clock. Either I could go on the train, go back, try to change into something a little more, casual, denim or something. But I miss a lot of that good networking stuff, a lot of that, like right after work stuff. So I would always go out dressed. Mm-hmm. So I really started being, and the only person dressed in any of like the, the little hip hop, any of the events were the Wall Street guys. This is gray suit, navy suit, white shirt, very boring.
Right.
So when I'm in the chocolate brown 3-piece lavender shirt, foulard tie, with the chocolate brown suedes busting heads, I stood out. And I started to realize, I was like, okay, so New York is kind of weird. You got to act like you the ish before you even done anything.
It's all about, people's perceptions of you.
It's really weird. And so this was different. This was a different thing coming from Atlanta and just being, just a regular humble guy. So I was like, okay, I get it. And then I started to realize, I know a lot of these guys, but they don't know who I am and they don't know what I do. I could be anything.
I'm anybody.
A designer or a philosopher. I'm walking around with bow ties.
The feds.
The feds. Like I'm anything, like you said. So what I would do is I would always go up to folks just in general. And I'd urge all of the folks out there, who aspire to be in different things. When you see people just go up, sometimes it's not always about you saying, "Yo, I need an internship," or "Yo, I want to work." It doesn't work like that. You have to establish a rapport. Mm-hmm. Just be memorable. Say something smart. Say something. You're paying attention to the culture. You're paying attention to what you're into. And I would do that. And I started to realize. So I would literally walk up to Puff, and and I'd be like, you want to do this, but you can't do this, and walk off.
Whoa.
Talk about my clothes. Because it's like,
pause.
Because it's kind of like, no,
pause is an understatement. Nigga said you want to do the do. You heard that there. You want to do the, Like, Fonzworth was about to let out something that he wasn't supposed to let out there if you didn't hear that.
It's like celebrities, they're people, they go to the bathroom just like any of us.
Right.
It's like, I ain't got nothing to lose. He ain't paying my bills.
That seems like such a risky thing to do.
Yeah, but
with
what
somebody
do I have to
like
lose?
him.
Yeah, so, and he would always be like, after I say it, I walk off. Like, who was that? What was that? Who was that? Like, what?
Security never tackled you to the ground?
Nah, just like, it wasn't big. It's like tongue in cheek, like whatever. And so it became like almost like an inside joke. Every time I see him, it got to the point where I wouldn't have to say nothing. Say, you're at the party, you looking around, then you see this dude again. That's like, I'm like,
how you doing? What's up?
No, I'm just pointing like,
yeah.
that ain't it.
Ooh.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And
So imagine that. Diddy is seeing this random guy at a party every single time that he's at a party. Every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. Eating all the hog maw. So every time Fonzworth saw Diddy, he took it upon himself to introduce himself and says, "Your fit ain't right, my fit is." What in the hell is Fonzworth talking about here?
I never forget. I was at this Blue. Is it Blue Ribbon or Blue? Yeah, it was a Blue Ribbon downtown. I was with a friend, a mutual friend of his, this young lady, and this dude who was a shoe designer, and he walks in. And this particular day, I have to admit, like I was dressed like the Black Duke of Windsor. Like I was Murk, M-U-R-K, Murk, Murking, right? Like full out, the watch vibe, And so he walked in, he walked straight to my table. I stood up and it was like a little stare down match on some
wow.
And I won. And then he just pointed the old girl like, yo, get this dude. It was the 2 ways then. Remember the 2 ways? Anybody with me? 2 ways.
Yeah, I had a 2-way.
Stay with me. He's like, yo, it was, you get this dude my 2-way number. Well, I didn't call him the next day because I'm busy.
Yeah, what a game.
Well, I wasn't busy. But you don't know. Don't nobody know. You don't know. You know. So, long story short, I remember, I was like, I waited. Next thing you know, Club New York happened. I'm like, dang, I done waited too late to hit him on the thing, right?
That was a bad time.
Really bad time. But I would always send him like Bible verses and stuff like that, and he would always reply back, "Thank you." But he don't know who this is, whatever, But all of us are feeling for him. He was a man on trial for murder. You know what I mean? And so, I never forget. I remember I was leaving at this time. I left Ralph, and I was working at this restaurant as a maitre d', and I left, and I was hit him on the 2. I was like, "Yo, I'm sure you're really busy, but I really need to talk to you. Who is this?" "It's Derek." "Where are you?" 73rd and 3rd. "Who is this?" "It's Derek Watkins." "Where are you?" It was like, no, around the corner from my house. "Who is this?" And I'm like, okay, now how can I tell him, right, who I am?
We have these stare downs in the club, and then
this nigga basically stalked Diddy and then called him. Unbelievable.
We
came up to me at Blue Ribbon, and
right. So then I'm like, and now I understand this as the importance of branding, And I said, "It's Derek Watkins, the suit master," right? So he didn't reply. And, after working for him, Puff, you think he the master everything.
Mm-hmm.
So next thing you know, I was sitting there in my lobby, and I said, "You know what? I know he knows who this is because he didn't reply. I know I got."
If that didn't tell you a lot right there, I don't know what else does. How he met Fonzworth Bentley is enough to tell you how that relationship would go. Furthermore, man stalked him in the club days at a time, nights at a time, then had the nerve to anonymously call him and say, "Hey, I'm the nigga that stalked you in the club all them times and said your suit wasn't right." And Diddy's supposed to just know who he is. And then hires him. Come on, man. And the cat's out the bag now. The other person that was, like I said, going to take the stand is Tiffany Red. Let's play her clip real quick. Because she's going to be a very important piece to the Cassie sex trafficking part of this. This is going to be a very, very long trial. And Tiffany Red's name is also going to be brought up. And when she takes the stand, I don't think she's going to pull any type of punches.
Music mogul and rapper Sean Diddy Combs has faced 4 different lawsuits in recent weeks alleging sexual assault and abuse, all of which he has denied. The first of those came from singer Cassie Ventura, known as Cassie, who accused Combs of sexual abuse and sex trafficking during the decade they were together. NBC's entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas spoke exclusively to a longtime friend of Cassie's who said she witnessed some troubling incidents. Chloe?
Good evening, Ellison. Singer-songwriter, activist Tiffany Red had been working with Cassie on an album when she first met Diddy and says that she witnessed him verbally abusing her friend. Following Cassie's settlement with Diddy, Red penned an open letter in Rolling Stone about her experience. She spoke to me about the events that she says traumatized her.
I don't think people understand what it's like to be traumatized by somebody famous and rich, because you can't get away from them.
Tiffany Red has written for the likes of Zendaya, Jason Derulo, and Jennifer Hudson. In 2015, she became friends with Cassie while writing songs for her album. At that point, Cassie and Diddy had been together for nearly 8 years. In a lawsuit Cassie filed last month, she detailed the abuse she says Diddy committed, including physical assault. Red says although she did not know about the alleged physical assault while working with Cassie, she did witness verbal abuse on more than one occasion. One of which took place during Cassie's 29th birthday in 2015. Red says Diddy showed up at karaoke, where Cassie and a group of friends were celebrating.
So he had her backed into the corner, and he was like cussing her out with his hand in her face.
Later that night, Red, who was staying at Cassie's home, says she awoke to screaming.
He's standing in the living room area, and she's there, and he was like, emotional singing, bitch. There you are. And I just was like, oh, he's talking to me. And I remember, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but, I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside. And I remember, looking in his eyes, and I said to him, what did y'all do? Because I could see that she was, really sedated. That was the first time I ever seen her, high before. And then he says, tell your girl she wants some birthday. And we were like, well, I mean, he's saying this to me, and I'm like, well, she doesn't have to have sex with you if she doesn't want to. He was upset, I guess that she didn't want to do with him whatever he wanted. I don't know. I don't feel like I could advocate for myself in that moment. I realized, oh, this guy is dangerous.
So basically, in that moment, she realized that her friend was being forced to do things that she didn't even want to do, on top of the fact that she was being propositioned. Yeah, buy your friend a bag. Get your friend a bag. We're going to fuck her later anyway. That's basically what that sounded like. And when Tiffany realized that and wasn't with the shits, and Cassie was like, nah, I don't think Tiffany's down with what we're doing necessarily behind closed doors. Tiffany said, you know what? I'm not necessarily okay with this, and we're going to keep a close eye on you, Diddy.
Says it was only a few months ago that Cassie told her what was really going on that night in 2015, that it all stemmed from the music executive wanting her to take part in what he called a freak-off against her will.
What did Cassie tell you about these freak-offs? That he would hire these, sex workers, and, they would have, sex with her or whatever, and he would watch and tell them what to do.
In her lawsuit, Cassie alleges she was forced to participate in freak-offs throughout her relationship with Diddy. Red learning recently one horrific detail from Cassie.
She told me the only time he was willing to do anything or work on her music, go through any plans, any of that, was when she had a freak-off. So all of our music, all my work, to find out that, I spent all these years writing these songs for him to rape my friend to, is just disgusting.
In the lawsuit, Cassie detailed the physical abuse she says Diddy committed, including an instance where she was put in a hotel room for days to heal. Red says Cassie recently told her about Diddy giving her a black eye before the premiere of her 2016 film, The Perfect Match.
I remember one time her telling me that, I think it might have been The Perfect Match, that movie that she was in, and she told me that she had a black eye under her makeup.
Do you believe Diddy is a dangerous person?
Yes.
I do. Why?
I mean, look at his rap sheet.
An attorney for Cassie declined to comment. Diddy's attorney did not respond. In 2015, Diddy was arrested on 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon and other charges for allegedly beating up his son's football coach. Prosecutors declined to file felony charges related to that arrest. 24 hours after Cassie filed her lawsuit, she and Diddy announced that they had reached an undisclosed settlement. Combs released a statement saying, "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best." His lawyer adding that the settlement was, quote, "in no way an admission of wrongdoing."
I mean, I just feel like it's PR. He's settled because he doesn't want to go to court.
Diddy's music career spans 3 decades, including 3 Grammy Awards and the creation of Bad Boy Records, representing artists from Mary J. Blige to the late Notorious B.I.G. In September, he was awarded MTV's Global Icon Award. But since the allegations surfaced, Hulu scrapped a reality series about his family, and the Recording Academy said they are considering to rescind his invite to this year's Grammys.
I think a lot of people, especially in the Black community, are, I've seen the narrative of like, they just trying to take a Black man down. And it's just like, that's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. This is about accountability and a reckoning. Like, that's just the bottom line.
As for what justice looks like?
I think justice looks like Diddy being behind bars. And I also think that justice looks like everybody getting retribution for all of the things, the amount of therapy. Like I just said, all of the moments, the time, like these are our careers.
And Chloe is back with us now. You hear her saying justice looks like Diddy behind bars. Is there a possibility that could still happen? Where does the criminal case stand?
So Cassie filed her federal civil suit here in New York, and the NYPD has come out and said that there is no investigation into Diddy right now. Now, that doesn't mean that the district attorney of Manhattan isn't looking into something, or perhaps investigations going on behind the scenes, but publicly, on the record, no such investigation has been confirmed. And also, there have been other lawsuits of some women coming forward with other similar accusations and allegations. And who knows if others might come forward as well. Remember, the Adult Survivors Act is set to expire at the end of this month in the state of California. And we know that Diddy, that is where he has primarily resided. So you never know if others might come forward between now and the new year.
And you spent so much time talking with Tiffany, and you can tell, even watching that back, not being in the room with her, that she has been so deeply impacted by what she says she witnessed. She has been able to sort of take this and turn it in a way, right? Can you explain that?
So she calls herself an activist, right? She's not just a singer-songwriter who's worked with so many stars, like I mentioned, Zendaya, Jason Derulo, Cassie. She is somebody that has started an organization called the 100 Percenters. And that's, she says, comes from the fact that she always gives 100%. And this is about advocating for equal pay and fair rights for those who are both artists and writers and music producers, and helping also get them out of archaic music contracts. So she has turned her tragedy and her trauma into something positive, but she said that speaking out to NBC News, speaking out to us, has helped her heal, and she also wants to stand up for her friend Cassie and validate what's in that lawsuit.
Amazing reporting, Chloe Malas.
Okay, so one thing I was able to stumble upon while I was looking again across the Little Rod document, right? There was a gentleman named in the documents by the name of Fahim Muhammad. Now, Fahim Muhammad, let's just read Fahim Muhammad real quick, right? So let me see if I can go up real quick. So here we go. Okay, so Mr. Combs made it clear that his head of security, Fahim Muhammad, had the power to make people and problems disappear. Now, what was interesting about Fahim Muhammad's name was that Fahim Muhammad was also one of the head of securities for Michael Jackson. Going to play an interesting clip for here in a second, but let's read this real quick. Mr. Combs instructs his staff to always contact Mr. Muhammad if they are ever pulled over by the police in Miami or California. Notice this LA and Miami residents specifically. Upon information and belief, Mr. Muhammad spoke with the LAPD after G was shot at the CRS, talking about the Chalice recording studio. Remember that shooting that happened at the Hollywood studios? Mr. Muhammad was called to make that problem disappear and basically use his connections to basically, I guess, remember they said that Diddy was told to say that the whole thing happened outside the studio. So Mr. Muhammad was to make that whole situation disappear. So the LAPD was in Chalice Recording Studios and witnessed the blood in the restroom, and they went with the bogus claim that the shooting of G occurred outside of the studio. This was all thanks to Mr. Muhammad's connections within law enforcement. Mr. Jones had no reason to disbelieve Mr. Combs, as he had seen firsthand through the shooting of G and the subsequent silence of the LAPD and the media that Mr. Combs indeed had the power to harm him. Excuse me. The LAPD spent hours in Chalice recording studios after the shooting of G, yet there were no arrests. Mr. Jones witnessed the LAPD in the restroom pictured above, yet no arrests were made. The morning after the shooting, Mr. Jones and several others arrived at the recording studios. G's blood was still on the floor of the restroom, and Diddy hired a cleaning crew to clean it up. So, real quick, I wanted to show you guys, where is it? Mr. Fahim Muhammad. So this is his LinkedIn. Of course, he's not necessarily covering his footprints, because I'm wondering right now, if he's not covering his footprints, how deep is the connections right now? Because another person we have to also keep in mind, do I have it still up here? Yeah. Is this gentleman here, the lecturer in law, Ben Masalis. Now, if you remember, Ben Masalis' name was mentioned with the Doral shooter. Ben Masalis is one of the head attorneys, actually, for Diddy. It says here, father and son attorneys, Ken and Ben Masalis, were loaded by Sean Combs and NFL player Eric Reed at the Variety Power of Law breakfast. The marvelous Mr. Masalis, the attorney who closes deals for Lady Gaga, Sean Combs in The Weeknd. Mr. Masalis. But back to Fahim Muhammad. So, Fahim Muhammad is actually the director of security for Combs Enterprises. But he also owns an investment development firm named Oasis Investment Group. Rebuilding communities one investment at a time. So if you had to ask yourself, how does Diddy acquire a school or any other of his big business enterprises, you look no further than this gentleman here. As well as you look at this gentleman here, Michael Amir. The CEO since inception, Michael has led the growth of Oasis real estate projects in the south of Chicago. Michael is responsible for the company's vision, corporate strategy, and team management. But an interesting thing about Michael Amir here, let's play this clip here.
Into a darker path, and someone might off me while continuing to do the story.
And turn this up just a little bit.
So that's where I'm at right now. Okay, so for starters, if you haven't been keeping up with the whole Diddy Michael Jackson conspiracy or connection, we know who this is. We know who this is. But do you guys know who this is? No, this is Fahim Muhammad. Yeah, Fahim Muhammad was head of security for Diddy and for Michael Jackson. Literally Michael Jackson when Michael Jackson died. Something crazier that I found out that nobody else was talking about is Michael's security before Fahim Muhammad. And that is Bill Whitfield and Javon Beard. But right now we're going to talk about Bill Whitfield because I don't think anybody known his connection to P. Diddy as well. So before we get on with Fahim Muhammad, we got to talk about Bill Whitfield and Mr. Beard. Now, they was with Michael for 2.5 years. So that was 2007, 2008, and probably like half of 2009, the beginning of 2009. They worked as Michael's personal security team stationed at his side almost 24 hours a day. Now, due to legal and financial problems, Michael was staying abroad, but he had to return to the U.S. Now, when Mr. Jackson returned to Vegas, he decided to replace his old security team with his new security team, which were Bill Whitfield Whitfield and Javon Beard. The thing that people don't know is that Bill Whitfield actually served head of security for Sean P. Diddy Combs. Back in 2009, while preparing for his This Is It comeback, Michael was completely unaware that his security guards, Bill Whitfield and Javon Beard, were being replaced with security guards from the Nation of Islam. That's where this scary man comes in. This is Fahim Muhammad again. Now we're making a full circle back to Fahim Muhammad. So now that we made a circle back to Fahim Muhammad, in 2008, he graduated from Sacramento State University with a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration with a concentration in real estate and marketing. So at that time of graduating, he had to be at least 21 or 20 something. What did he know about being head of security of anything, of celebrities? Being the natural businessman that he was, after college, Fahim founded Elite Transportation and Security Services, LLC. Fahim grew his security company into a multi-million-dollar business. He continues to oversee the company, which currently has several exclusive security contracts with A-list clients such as Mr. Sean Combs, P. Diddy. Not only did Mr. Fahim Muhammad work for Diddy as head of security, but before him, Bill Whitfield worked for Diddy too? What is going on? It also gets even crazier because this is Michael Amir Williams. He was Michael's PA, his personal assistant throughout 2009.
Listen close. Listen close about what you hear about Michael Amir. Because from here, it gets a little bit creepy.
And ever since his last days. Going back to the Oasis website, in 2019, Fahim co-founded Oasis with Michael Amir. This is Michael Amir. Michael Amir right here. Michael Amir became his business partner for many years. Under Fahim's business leadership, they turned a $40,000 investment into a $10 million real estate portfolio. Now, going back to this Nation of Islam thing, we know he's definitely part of the Nation of Islam, but I don't know for sure. I don't want to quote that he is, but judging by the haircut, I've been by a lot of Nation of Islam people. They have this haircut. Not to stereotype, but all these years, Michael has been claiming he's not part of the Nation of Islam. He has no connection to him. So why is the Nation of Islam within Michael's circle being head of security and being Michael's personal assistant? Not only that, but after Michael's death, they get together and in 2019 start up this business, co-founding a business together? Making a $40,000 investment into $10 million? What is going on? Now, we all know that the government wanted to kill Michael Jackson. That's a known fact. Michael has said it numerous of times in leaked phone calls, interviews, and everything. Why is Fahim Muhammad being associated with the CIA? Giving speeches, becoming a guest speaker for colleges that recruits CIA members. But also last year, without even realizing it, like I had no idea because this guy is a ghost. Fahim Muhammad is a ghost. This guy went viral for giving his 13-year-old son 40 acres of land in San Diego. Yeah, San Diego. This is by the Mexican border, by the way. Why is that? Oh, gee, I don't know. In case something like this happens where he can just escape. He can just get away in case something goes bad. Now he's being connected with P. Diddy and Michael Jackson's death. Yeah, this is some weird shit going on, and I don't want to be part of it. I'm just like Candace Owens. This is my last time covering this. Not really. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. I will get to the bottom of this.
So it gets weirder. It gets even fucking weirder, right? Get a load of this. Michael Jackson's assistant. I paid Michael Jackson's bills. I hate ads. I hate ads. Anyway, I pay Michael Jackson's bills and I want my money back. You see that? So, we don't have to read the rest of this, right? But it would appear to me that someone did get their money back. In a sense. through someone's death, so to speak. And that money was used for this. Like I said, it gets even creepier when you mention this gentleman aside of this one. Very intriguing and very creepy. And I hit the follow button on stream just so you guys could also follow Mr. Marcus himself. Follow Marcus because we all put our lives on the line here. We all put our lives and faces on the line when it comes to reporting all of these things. It's no longer conspiracy theories. These things are all fact that you can all Google and look up your damn selves. But this is all truth that we are all speaking, and we are fearless in speaking it, and we appreciate when you like and subscribe to us. So if you haven't already, hit the love, like, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it because it helps all of us as well. Furthermore, Diddy sells the remaining Revolt TV stake to an anonymous buyer, 50 Cent. Diddy has sold his remaining stake in Revolt TV to an anonymous buyer. According to TMZ, his shares were sold for an undisclosed sum. Though it will remain black-owned, the outlet also details that the new Revolt boss wants to remain anonymous during this time. Wonder why. However, they plan to announce their arrival in the coming weeks. No other details surrounding the sale have been shared. Sexual assault allegations lodged against Diddy sent a shockwave through Revolt in 2023. In fact, journalist Dawn Montgomery decided to leave the company. Montgomery explained that she couldn't work at Revolt if Diddy was involved in any way. Montgomery, a host on Revolt's Monuments to Me podcast, announced her departure shortly after Cassie released her bombshell lawsuit. FYI, I won't be signing on to do the third season of Revolt's Monuments to Me podcast. I am a sexual assault survivor, and I cannot be a part of a show that's supposed to uplift black women while Diddy leads the company. Believe black women, she typed at the time. And also Diddy had stepped down from Revolt. Says, I am grateful for how I was able to contribute to the show and work with my co-host Akila. This was a wonderful opportunity brought to me by our producer Darius, who saw that I needed to share more of my story and connect with the show's audience. This isn't a hard decision, and I'm okay, she added. One thing I've done throughout my professional careers is be mindful of my work ethic and where I place my energy and time. I also feel like, the Revolt's leadership not speaking on this says a lot. And even though this podcast experience blessed me, I'm done. And as previously reported, Diddy stepped down from his role as Revolt chairman. Back in November 2023, Sean Combs relinquished his role amid a flurry of sexual assault allegations. Combs released a statement via Revolt's Instagram page at the time explaining his decision. Explaining the decision, his attorney, who wrote this one, Sean Combs, has stepped down from his position as chairman of Revolt. The message read, while Mr. Combs has previously had no operational or day-to-day role in the business, bullshit, this decision helps to ensure that Revolt remains steadfastly focused on our mission to create meaningful content for the culture and amplify the voices of all Black people throughout this country and the African diaspora. Excuse me, diaspora at the time. Diddy's move was detailed as temporary. Speaking of the attorney, though, the attorney put out a statement on behalf of Sean Combs yesterday. There was a gross overuse of military level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. There is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. Mr. Combs, now, see what I'm saying? I understand you're saying the fact that, let me just pause here real quick. I understand the fact that you're disgusted by the force and the manner of which everyone was treated. What's more disgusting is that your client was nowhere to be found in the midst of his children being in fucking handcuffs. If you want to talk about something that was disgusting, okay? Mr. Combs was never detained but spoke to and cooperated with authorities. Bullshit. Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested. Bullshit. Nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. Bullshit. This unprecedented ambush, paired with an advanced, coordinated media presence. Wow. This goes to show you when they saying things like that, Diddy doesn't necessarily have the power that he used to have to where he can't make this just go away. He can't make the outlets just be quiet about it. At this point, the only people that are being quiet about it are the outlets that are employed by him, which pretty much are not employed by him anymore, if you haven't read between the lines. Paired with an advancement coordinated media presence leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt. Witch hunt. Wow. Nothing more than a witch hunt. We hunting the damn witch, all right. Based on meritless accusations. Meritless? I wouldn't say the word meritless because there's quite a lot of evidence when you are using the word meritless. There's quite a lot of proof in things that we are saying that this gentleman has done. There's quite a lot of proof in the things that Cassie has said, quite a lot of proof in the things that Little Rod has said. So I wouldn't quite use the word meritless if you were an attorney, sir. Made in civil lawsuits. There was nothing civil about the Little Rod lawsuit, okay? He used the words RICO, okay? This is a RICO. He might just get hit with the RICO. Diddy got hit with the RICO. There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability, bullshit, with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name. So that goes to show you we are in for a year-long, possibly 2-year-long trial with Mr. Sean Combs. And someone that also took to the defense of Mr. Combs, and I, for one, am not surprised by seeing this, but I guess you could say the man is just loyal. He's just loyal. He's going to stick by his homie. Because another person that's going to get called to that stand is Mr. Stevie J. He posted this on his Instagram story. I'm not going to play the music, of course, from it, but let's read here. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And as you can see at the bottom here, it says Prince, what was that? Prince DJ JDC. And you have King Combs in the corner. Rob Holiday. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. With his Biggie shirt and a bucket hat. With the Biggie poster in the back. As if he's praying for everyone. Let us be honest here. Stevie J is one contradicting fuck, because how dare you have a Biggie shirt on and you married Faith Evans? You were literally a part of the bad boy camp while Biggie Smalls was being murdered. You were riding down Sunset with Mace the day of Biggie Smalls' murder. And you had the nerve 15 years later, almost 20 years later, to marry Faith Evans. And you have the fucking nerve to wear a Biggie shirt saying no weapon against us shall prosper. The day after the anniversary, the 27-year anniversary of Life After Death, Biggie Smalls' last album before he passed away. The nerve of you, Stevie J. And I paused it right here because I want you to understand that, yes, this man is saying he's praying for everybody. No weapon against us shall prosper. Understand that no weapon against us shall prosper means that this man knows that he might be going to fucking jail himself. Stevie J is very concerned for himself. Because if Puff have to take that stand, and a lot of other people have to take that stand along with him and swear under an oath, yeah, Stevie J is nervous about swearing under that oath right now. Let us all be clear about that. Stevie J is very nervous about taking that oath right now. They all failed Biggie. They all failed Biggie. It's going down from here, y'all. It's all going down from here. Shit is over, y'all. And like I said before, we've got a long list of celebrities that are going to be taking that stand. A very long list of celebrities that will be taking that stand, this trial. This one ain't over by a long shot. We are just in the very beginning of things. We are only in the beginning of this race. But we already know who's going to be the winner of this race. Because things have caught up to him. Things have already caught up to him. The tortoise has already caught up to the hare. The tortoise has already caught up to the hare. Let us just say that. And man.
Yeah.
Next time I see y'all.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is, we got a Black Book of Hove to get into. Till then, peace.
My type of women like to cuddle, but don't sleep on the money. My type of women like to talk, but don't talk to no dummy. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. The type of dudes don't be calling trying to blow up a phone. The type of dudes getting money but don't leave her alone. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. I need a woman that can cook and clean. She need a good man that fuck a mean. I kick it paying all bills, yeah, I foot the fee. Yeah, I know she bad and bougie, but she good to me. We talking king shit, I love to show her royalty. I need a queen, quick to always show her loyalty. And when even a nigga off, she be on with me. She DEF the fuck boy, she supported G. That's how it always be. Yeah, it's a baddie, it's a baddie. Make it clap, patty cake with that fatty. Yeah, she love it, making money. Keep it coming, hate but complaining, haters do nothing. Type of women like to cuddle, but don't sleep on the money. My type of women like to talk, but don't talk to no dummy. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A type of dudes don't be calling trying to blow up a phone. A type of dudes getting money but don't leave her alone. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer.